Nah. Mm-mm. I know you've got that task in your head on your to-do list that you're procrastinating. This is your sign. Get off your little bum and go and do it. I had to do mine. You have to do yours. It's life. We can't have everything we want. We can't sit on our bums all day. I wanted to. You wanted to. We can't do that. Get up. Do the task you need to do. Okay? My version of Project Pan's going great, thanks for asking, because I know you were wondering. We'll do a more informed update in a vlog coming up, but I just thought I'd let you know I'm still getting through them products. I'm not going to the gym for a few days, so it's time to unpack the gym bag so that I can repack it when I want to go and sort out my everyday bag. I really like organising bags, okay? So yes, I do sit down at an evening, every evening before I get into bed and sort out my bag for the next day. It's a thing I like to do. Go on then. Again. And reset. I just want to cross my legs, man. Do you have to be inside of them? Down, darling. Right, you can sit in the legs. Go on then. The other hotels, but never mind, I'm sure it's nice. The hotel bread, so that's the diet gone. But you can put yours on yours, I can't. You sniff a chocolate. Hello cherubs, it is Demi. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. Why the high-pitched voice? What is with the top? I hope that was Johnny's, but I know it wasn't. You know when people say, like, you look tired today? Does anybody else in their head just think, I'm sorry, Mr. Perfector? Sammy, welcome back to my channel. So today just a little, like, sad because I don't get to upload a video to YouTube every day, and I honestly love YouTube and uploading and everything about it. Brad's getting off if you can hear screaming because the internet's not working very well and his game's not working. I used to go out the house with my hair like this all of the time, and I'm like, girl, could you not at least, like, have found a style that looked a little bit put together? And I've asked him to bring us out a caramel frappuccino. I love them. They're so nice. They're so nice. And yeah, I feel like this has been a boring vlog. I never expected my channel to blow up the way it did. Not very exciting. Can I make it any more obvious? I'm going to take out the field, hopefully give her a run. The end of this video, it's been a random one. I've just sat, as you can see from the footage, I've just sat reminiscing. Reminiscing? It's reminiscing, you thick piece of shit. I know I fuck up words all the time, but that one, reminiscing, what even is that? Reminiscing? Making up your own vocabulary now, Demi. I was reminiscing. Watch us not even be saying it right now. And watching some old vlogs, and honestly, I've just had a pure moment of like, wow, I am such a different person. It's actually like unbelievable. And I think it's weird because obviously as we grow up and as we get into adulthood and as we change and we get like more life experiences and stuff like that, every single person in the world changes. Like, it's inevitable we're going to change. We'll have different experiences and life, and everything changes as people. And this is like over a 9-year period I'm looking back on at them vlogs. of course I'm going to change. I would be very concerned if I was still the same person I was when I was 21 years old, because that means I'd have done no learning or development or anything like that. So yeah, we're going to change. But I think the funny thing is not many people have got it so heavily documented, the person they were, to be able to look back like I've just done there at videos of myself and see like the little things that I think are so different. Like obviously we'll be like, oh my god, yeah, well we're so different, or like I changed, I used to believe this, I did this, I wore this, I done that. But I think there, watching myself there, it's like it's crazy because I just feel like such a different person. Obviously, I feel like I've matured so much. And then there's a kind of part of us now which I'm like, wow, like I really did not give a fuck what I put on the internet in terms of like how I looked. Like I honestly think I looked absolutely disgraceful. I looked disgusting. I didn't even bother with my hair, and I always remember looking back on quite a lot of my old vlogs. I always had a ring of makeup, dirty makeup along here, and honestly, I hate that so much. Like, why didn't I cleanse it off properly? I don't know. I used to use makeup wipes a lot, and they clearly did not get all the makeup off because I used to always have this ring, the bleach blonde hair days. Like, it's funny to look back on, and honestly I kind of like looking back and seeing the development and seeing how far I've came as a person. But Jesus Christ, like what a throwback they are, and what a moment they are. It's so funny because I'm not that person anymore, and there's a part of us which is like sad in a way, that I do feel like a little bit more filtered in life, especially when it comes to online. But I don't. I think I am. I think I've matured as a person a lot, and with maturity, do you get more boring? I don't know. I definitely don't feel like as in general like as hyper as I was back then. But at the same time, I was 22 years old. Like I lived at my mum's. Like life was very different, and it looked very different. My priorities were different, and everything just looked different then. And now I'm 28 years old. I'm 29 this year, and I'm 30 next year. Mm, that is ugly. That's making us feel sick. I started YouTube when I was 21. Actually, my first ever video went up when I was 19 years old, I think. Yeah, my first ever video went up when I was 20-year old, and I'm 30 next year. It's been nearly 10 years. That's absolutely crazy. And 10 years is like, it's a decade. It's a long time for someone to change and develop and learn new things and become a completely different person. A lot can change in 10 years. A lot can change within a person. And I definitely have changed within 10 years. But it's just so funny to look back at the person I used to be. I kind of envy her. There's things I envy about past Demi. And I think just my whole like concept of like genuinely like I do feel like I still don't care. Okay, I do still feel like I have this mentality of like not caring. I definitely have had weaker years where I've definitely cared a lot more about like what others think about us, and I've let opinions get to us and all that. But that's gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, even when it comes to body positivity and all of that thing, like you are gonna have weeks and days and years where you feel absolutely bloody great, and then you're gonna have weeks and days and years where it's not something you're feeling good about. And like, to be honest, I was actually thinking about this the other day. When I was at my biggest size, which was like 17 stone, which was like the first or the second year we moved into this house, was like when I got to my biggest ever weight. And I had a lot of eating struggles. My binge eating really, really took a turn when I got my own house. Like, I really struggled. Me and Sean both did. This is something we've talked openly about on the internet, I think, like, so many times. But when I was at my biggest weight, that's when I feel like I really popped off with the body positivity content. Like, I really did do a lot of it, and I just was big, but I was the biggest I'd ever been. But for some reason I felt so confident with it, and that's amazing for me. Like, I wouldn't have wanted myself to feel depressed about it. And then obviously I feel like now I don't post the body. I'm not I'm not self-conscious nowadays. Like, I'm not self-conscious. I don't mind if like I put clips in of my stomach, but I don't really like take like content of myself in underwear anymore like I used to. Maybe that'll come back. It's just a personal preference. I've grown up a little bit, you know what I mean? I've matured in the world, and that's grand. But it is just so funny looking back at who I used to be on them vlogs and like watching myself, my younger self. And that's why I say time and time again, vlogs will always be the best memories, because I can look back. It's so many things I've done over the last 10 years, well, 9 years, and I will never, ever stop documenting my life through videos. Whether I always put that to an audience on YouTube is another thing, but I will never stop documenting my life through videos, because the memories for me are absolutely like indescribable. Like, my mom doesn't have them memories of her life, and a lot of people don't. Like, a lot of my friends who aren't into social media don't have them memories in their life, and I'm sure there's parts of them that would love to be able to have that reflection and be able to look back at parts of their life so vividly. Photos are amazing, but they don't. Photos are a photo. It's a static moment, isn't it? Whereas a video, you feel like you're there. It takes you back to that moment. And for me, like, I will never ever stop documenting my life through video content. It's just whether I always post that publicly or not's another story. But yeah, I kind of envy the person I was back then, because I just didn't give a fuck, did I? I mean, I feel like I still like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I don't know. I've just changed. I've grew up. Like, that's life. I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm developing every single day. And I do think sometimes I'm a bit wary and cautious of opinions and how something may come across online, and I maybe do let it affect what I put in a video, or how I present myself, or how I say something. I think I'm definitely more aware of that, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because sometimes, I had no filter at all, and it was probably, I probably offended people by the way I said things. I wasn't as educated on the way to talk, or I wasn't as educated in terms of like, you know, I probably just wasn't as educated. So I definitely think nowadays there's nothing wrong with having precautions on like how you say things, and like, making yourself just a little bit more aware of things. And once something is on the internet, it's on the internet forever, basically. So I think for me, it's definitely something I do think about a little bit more. I had a moment there where I was like, did I actually lose my spark? Like, am I dull now? Am I boring now? Am I not that person? And like, have I lost my spark? And like, yes and no. Like, I can be fun, and I can be like, you know, that girl, that excitable, fun girl, but maybe I'm not that person as much as I used to be, but I've toned it down a lot. I'm 30-year-old now. Like, would just like to clarify, I am not 30-year-old now. I still have a year and 6 months before I'm 30-year-old. So just putting that out there. I am not 30-year-old. Don't know why I said that. I don't know why I'm taking a year and a half off my life. I'm not 30, I'm 28. Like, but I am still that person as well. Like, I think it's a weird one. I'm not that, and I never was that person every single day anyway. Obviously it was just, I used to film when I felt like that, but like, yeah, I just like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't think I've lost my spark of that. I don't know. I was thinking that, am I quiet now? Like, I feel like I'm a little bit more quiet now, a little bit more reserved, but I'm a fuck. Like, in real life, I'm absolutely not quiet, and I'm not reserved, and I'm still, I think maybe on social media it's taken a bit of a step back, but definitely not in real life. I think I'm still that person, just, I'm probably worse. Like, in real life, I just think I've got more confidence nowadays, which means I've got even less filter, and like, I just don't care. Like, if I want to have a little dance moment, I'm going to have that dance moment no matter where I am, what I am. And that's something that I'm really bringing into 2025, more dancing, because honestly, dancing just makes me happy. And whether it's like, I get urges to dance as well, like little spontaneous urges to just have a wiggle. And I'm going to do it in 2025. I feel like there were so many situations where I would just sit down. If I'm in a restaurant having a meal and there's a good song on now and have a wiggle, I'm going to get up and have a wiggle. Yeah, that's how I'm going to be in 2025. I'm going to be the girl that just never stops dancing, because I feel like I always like just sit down because I'm like, oh, it's not appropriate. But when's it appropriate? Life, if you are living today, then it is appropriate. If you want to have a little wiggle, have a little wiggle. Not at a funeral, that would definitely not be appropriate, but we're not talking about funerals right now, so I kind of did look back at them old videos as well, and I kind of did think, oh, where did she go? Where did she go? But she grew up, she got older, and these things happen. I'll look at these videos that I've posted, this year, in 10 years' time, and think, fucking hell, like, I'm a completely different person. Like, when I'll be nearly 40. Nah. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. What? 40 seems old. Like, I think I've come to terms with the fact that I'm nearly 30. I'm sorry to everybody who's nearly 40 out there. I did not mean to cause offence, but it just feels like I remember, like, my mum being 40. Do I remember yeah, I do remember my mum being 40. Of course I remember my mum being 40. That's like I think I'm gonna be sick. That is terrifying. Like, I think I've come to terms with the fact that I'm 30 next year, but it still feels terrifying. But I've come to terms with it. Like, people around us have been turning 30 and over the last few years, and it's like it's in my life 30. I'm like, yeah, people are turning 30. Like, 30's not that bad. Like, 30's the new 20s, you know? Like, I'm ready to be 30. 40, I have not come to terms with that yet. Hopefully by the time I'm closer to that age I will have, but I mean I'm still a while off there. Like, we're still got a little bit of years before we get to the 40s. But yeah, I'm not going to be the same person in my 40s as I am in my 30s. Like, you're never the same person, are you? Anyway, that's me having a little reflection, a little smoochy at my old self, and just having a moment. And yeah, let us know if you've been here since then vlogs, by the way, that I showed in this video, because if you have, you're an OG. You're an OG, girly. Comment claw clip if you've been here since then. There's a claw clip behind the camera. A claw clip wasn't randomly in my head, but yeah, I want to know who's been here. Anyway, I'm gonna love and leave you. We had a little reflection vlog. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you very shortly for another one. Bye.